Welcome to Should These Games Get a Sequel? I have a wheel, a big old wheel of games. These are all games that, as of right now, do not have a sequel or an announced sequel. I've tried to limit the amount of games in this wheel that are like a part of a bigger franchise, but there are a couple exceptions to that. And I've also not included games to where there's not really much room for that discussion, like Return of the Obra Dinn and stuff like that. Games where like a sequel existing kind of defeats the point. I've tried to remain fair with my choices. Some games are getting sequels and it's like, why did that get a sequel? Who was asking for that? Some games don't, and it's like, bruh, that game was so good, like we should have got a sequel. And some games don't really need a sequel. Sometimes they surprisingly get one and it turns out being really good and stuff like that, you know? It seems like studios, executives, you know, developers, even they're struggling to sort of kind of chase what people want. So I'm gonna sort of throw in my 2 cents here and say which of these games I feel like should get a sequel, which games I feel like shouldn't. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my my takes in this video. It's all in good fun at the end of the day, you know? Alright, give me a good one. Give me a tasty one. Let's start off with something thought-provoking. I'm trying to like really rattle around in my head. Should this game... It's a pretty funny one to start with. This is an indie game from like, what, 2010 or something? It's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick game. I really like this game. Should it get a sequel though? I don't think anyone really is asking for that. I mean, if it does, like, I guess I would probably be interested, but I feel like it extracted all you could really hope to extract from its concept, the whole like gravity flipping thing. And I don't really think there's much point in sort of bringing something like this to like updated hardware. Like, I'm not really crying for a remake where it looks all crisply animated. I think you can probably leave this one. I want something a little bit juicier though. Come on, give me something tasty. Well, thematically, I does it make sense? The whole game is about sort of finding your purpose. You know, you explore a world, you meet different families and factions and ways of life, and then you end the game by making a decision on which one speaks to you the most. You can end the game whenever you want. So by the end, you've sort of like found your calling. What would the second game be? Would it be like a new character on the same journey? At that point, I feel like it's just kind of derivative though. I mean, games like it are really special. You know, so I feel like I should say yes, because more stuff like this would be great to see. Borrows heavily from Breath of the Wild. I think open world games with this kind of design philosophy are very cool. The look of the game is really unique with the pastel colors and that cel-shaded art design. The line art is so tight. It also could mean more Japanese breakfast music, which is never a bad thing. I'm saying, yeah, do Sable 2. Do Sable 2. Just make sure it doesn't drop frame rates on PS5, because that was a nightmare. So we got a yes and a no. What else we got? I did not like this game at all. I think this was a bad game, dude. Those last two games on this wheel are both games I really enjoyed. But this one I don't like at all. But I'm still gonna say yes. Yes, please. Insomniac Games are in a much better place to make a game like this right now. Because the most annoying thing about this freaking game was the floaty controls and the obnoxious sense of humor. Every cutscene, every line was trying to be jokey and witty and like crude and self-aware. I found it super annoying. And I feel like Insomniac with the Spider-Man games have gotten much better at that specifically. So I think they could pull that off a little bit better now, and I think it would be refreshing to see Insomniac get back in their sort of zany bag with the crazy weapons. Traversal, bro. The Spider-Man games have really honed their skills in making like traversal super fun. They would kill this on a second go around. I feel like it would be way less annoying. And also they could release it on PlayStation. Right when PlayStation seemingly are trying to make a pivot to more kind of fun and arcadey games with the Astrobot game coming out. Yeah, bro, I think a sequel to this would go down well. I think it would be refreshing for Insomniac to make something like this. I think they could really explore their strengths in new ways here, you know? And not that the Spider-Man games don't fulfill me, they're really good, but I reckon a second go-around could do some wonders. I think it could be a big improvement. That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. That gave me something to chew on, something to think about. Oh, fuck. This could work. I don't know though. I don't know if I want this. I think I'm gonna go with no, but I think it could work. I wouldn't be shocked if this happened. It might be kind of hard to write a script that makes a sequel make sense, but I'm saying no strictly because I thought this game was too long. I personally got kind of tired of the core gameplay loop. I just found the core card game a little bit too exploitable. When you kind of know how to win in one turn, it becomes so easy. It was sort of presenting potential to sort of reach a high skill ceiling with the card game mechanics, but at that point, you'd already freaking built a card that could just like triple hit, deal like 9 damage in one go, and it's just like, mate. At least that was my experience. I kind of found the core gameplay loop a little, like by the end I was like, oh man, I'm ready for this game to be done, but I was sticking along with it because the story was so great. I love the story. Overall, it is a great game, but I don't know, I think a sequel for me would feel exhausting, because my only complaint with the game was I think it was a little bit too drawn out, and I think a more compact experience would have done it favors. So if I'm saying I wanted the first game to be shorter, I'm not really going to welcome a whole second game with open arms. So for me personally, I'm saying no, but maybe this could work. I don't know. Let me know if you feel differently. That's fine. That's fine if you disagree. No problem. No, I understand. It's a novel game. You want to see more of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I would freaking love this. This is a glowing yes. This game rocked. I feel like it must have flopped or something. This is one of the best games that Platinum have ever made. I don't think it's quite their best. You know, Nier Automata and Bayonetta 2 are both better, but this is such a blast to play, man. That freaking, like, the mechanic where you could angle up your slice, that was so cool. You could just slice up, like, fruit. There was some real expression in that. And this is such a campy, zany game with absurd music and boss fights. Just an absolute blast and a really great action game. And it was really succinct, too. It was only 6 hours long or something like that. And I was left, like, mouth-watering for more, man. But, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get a sequel to this, given the Metal Gear rights are a little washy at the minute. This game deserved a second wind. I don't think people respected how freaking fun this game was. Even though it did have a terrible blocking system that was, again, really exploitable. Like, you could just, like, never get hit so easily. I would personally love a sequel. I think that'd be amazing. That was a no-brainer. That one was too easy. That one was way too easy for me. I would love that. Doubt it's ever going to happen, but, you know, that'd be great. Oh, yeah. I think this would be great. I would love a part 2, because part 1 is disappointing. This game disappointed me. You know, it started off pretty promising, you know, with the music and the aesthetic and the general atmosphere of the game being so bouncy and contagious and just free and fun, you know. Like, right away, this game strikes you as just a delight to play. But when you hit the halfway mark, you get kind of sick of doing the same tricks. Like, I think this game should have had, like, more tricks to unlock. Maybe you could have, like, a loadout of different type of tricks you could do or something. I just feel like it didn't really capitalize on all of the potential there. And I thought the notoriety system in this game was terrible, bro. The game's like, yeah, go do graffiti tags, you know, every 3 seconds. The moment you do, like, 2 of them, the police want to kill you. And they are so invasive, and the only way to, like, get rid of the police is you go to, like, a little, like, cubicles. And sometimes they'll just, like, close and you can't go in them, and you just have to deal with the police chasing you. And they're, like, hitting you with chains and, like, restraining you. Like, there were so many, like, annoying kind of mechanics that just the quality of life assurance in this game was a little so-so. The boss fights were kind of cool. They were flashy, but very trivial. I don't think they really made the best use of the mechanics the game allowed. And the story actually ended up being one of the most, like, interesting parts of the game for me. I really liked the story and the cutscenes and the dialogue, and just the music obviously is amazing. I love games, skating games, like kind of just sports games that are just sort of zany in this way. I think more games like this would be great to see, so for that reason I would love a sequel, and I think there is loads of room for improvement. More tricks though. More tricks for the love of God is my biggest thing with that game. Anyway, what's next? Fuck. Oh my god. So, hey yo, you see the tattoo? You see the tattoo? This is my favorite game in the world, man. And for that reason, this makes this very difficult to say. It's a no. It's a no. I don't think a sequel works. I don't see how you could make a sequel to this game. That being said, though, when I finished the base game, I did think, how does a DLC make sense in this story? And they managed to make that work. So maybe there is a way to make this work. But I just think thematically, conceptually, with the way the story goes and the way the game functions, I don't see how a part 2 could ever make any sense. Then again, Kelsey Beecham, she's a writing wizard, so maybe there's something here, I don't know. Overall, I say Mobius Games can explore their game development talents in a whole new thing. I think we can leave Outer Wilds. Maybe their next game can employ some of the design philosophies of Outer Wilds, but a sequel to Outer Wilds, a direct sequel, don't think it makes sense. Maybe you could do a new solar system with a whole new thing, but then it's just like, okay, we're doing the same thing again. The joy of Outer Wilds is realizing what it is you're playing. Like, the more you know going into it, the less of the experience is. You know, it's about realizing what kind of game this is, unraveling it layer by layer. You can't really recreate that. And that's why I was hesitant to go into the DLC, but the DLC did a great job of sort of reigniting the Outer Wilds magic, that kind of discovery process. But if you go into Outer Wilds like a sequel, having already played the first, you're going to know to look for things that you weren't really conscious of the first time you went through it. So, I don't know, I feel like it's a no. I feel like it's a definite no. I don't think this should happen. Like, if this got announced, I would be excited, but I'd be so confused. I'd be like, how the fuck does that make sense? So I'm not saying, like, if it were to happen, I'd be, like, upset, but I don't know. I feel like Mobius, I'd be more interested in seeing them make a whole new thing. So overall, that's a no, but it's a painful no, because it is my favorite game in the world. What's next? We got caves? Yes, please. I'd fucking love that, dude. I think I would love to see how that would look. Or maybe it could look like Owlboy. Owlboy's kind of similar, actually. If you have played Cave Story, I really recommend Owlboy. That game sort of feels like a sequel to Cave Story in a lot of ways. But yeah, I love the exploration of Cave Story. I love the humor of Cave Story. I think it's a world with characters that are worth revisiting, and I think it could look really flashy and fascinating today with the new technology. Yeah, man, Cave Story would be class. Again, another one that might actually be good to have like a remake for, because I feel like Cave Story is like an if you know, you know kind of game. If you played that game, you know this is a fucking slept-on game. One of the first indies I ever played, actually. That's a lovely game. I might have to replay that soon. I really like Cave Story. What else we got? Oh, damn. Probably not. I don't know. The thought of playing through a second one of these, I'm sure it would be good, but it does sound a bit exhausting. Maybe because I'm just not in a place with my life where I'm trying to play like a freaking 100-hour fantasy RPG. I've got enough of those, bro. but the first game is very good. I do like this game. The gameplay, the combat. Maybe they should do a sequel. Maybe the sequel is kind of what the genre needs. Because this was a breath of fresh air for me when it came out, the first one. The story was just nothing. I would say if you were to do a sequel, get a whole new team of people on the story. Keep the exact same people for the gameplay. Not the best on the market, but it's accessible. And I feel like that might be refreshing today. Actually, I'm changing my answer. I'm saying yes. You know what? Yeah. Don't know if I would play it. That'd be nice. What we saying, bruh? Yeah, I'm skipping that. I don't think you need me to answer that one. I forgot I wrote that one. Oh yeah, I say yes to this. Sonic Frontiers, in my opinion, is bad. It's not good. However, it is presenting many ideas that the Sonic franchise has been desperately needing for a while. I think it has great potential to improve. The movement, the combat, the difficulty spikes, the bosses, the running up freaking tool structures never working. There are so many things in this game that are just janky as hell. And it just looks fucking stupid. The floating loops and structures. This game just looks dumb. I think a more consistent visual aesthetic. And I feel like a sequel to this game, though, might tighten up all the great ideas that were here. Like the exploration was fun, doing the little puzzles and stuff, just sort of collecting things as you run around this big open world map. That really works with the Sonic appeal, with the speed and like the excitement of Sonic. But the actual game design was just a mess, and the world design. I reckon this is sort of shows you the directions that Sonic should be going in my opinion. So overall, I'm saying yes, because the first one fumbled it. The second one could maybe, sort of tighten things up a little bit. So there's potential there. Fuck yeah, yes. Oh, this game was so short, bro. Get Daniel Mullins of Inscription fame on the sequel, bro, because that had a very similar, Superhot had a similar kind of sort of game within a game, sort of like you're talking to someone, you're hacking and this and that. There was like a meta sort of story with Superhot, and it was just really short, and I feel like they didn't really fully reach the peak of what was possible with this incredibly clever mechanic. Like Superhot is such a clever and novel idea for a shooter. It like completely recontextualizes how you view a shooter just by slowing things down, by having the characters, the enemies move while you move. That is literally the only gimmick of the game, and it just fully redefines how you engage with the shooter genre. That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like a follow-up would go hard as hell. I feel like you could maybe add some extra modes, play around a bit, maybe have some open levels and not have as much of a linear sort of thing. Maybe you could sort of play around with that. I think there's so much room to engage with this game mechanic that was not tapped into in the first game, due to it just being kind of a micro game. That was a banger one, man. I would love a Superhot. Oh my god. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. This is the best Mario game. This is the best. I feel like that opinion is getting more common. This game, I think, is much like Breath of the Wild did for Zelda. It sort of fully became everything all the previous Mario games hinted at being. The secrets hidden everywhere, the incredible visual splendor of each world you go to. I think another dose of this would be a delight. Galaxy got a sequel that gave you more of the same, whilst also introducing loads of new ideas and mechanics and environments, and it was a freaking delight. I have said for years that Galaxy 2 wipes the floor with Galaxy 1. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is incredible. Mario Odyssey 2, I think, I don't see a single reality where that isn't an amazing game. Like Mario Bros. Wonder. Bruh, the amount of ideas that game throws at you every 3 seconds. It's like the wonder seeds, like create a whole new level within the level. It goes like top down. You turn into like a giant freaking pillar. like the creativity on display there was unbelievable. Like it really showed that Nintendo have just boundless ideas and they know exactly how to carefully implement them in a creative and novel way. I think if you apply that same creativity, that same effort, that same thinking to a game as big and expansive as Mario Odyssey, bro, that would be legendary. That would be insane. Oh my god, I need this. I freaking need this. Bro, Switch 2, launch it with Mario Odyssey 2, bro, you are selling so you are selling like crazy. Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I don't see how that could ever be a no, bro. That would be freaking magical. Animal Well 2? No, I don't know. I know Billy Basso did say that the next game will take place in the Animal Well universe, but I don't really know what that means, because you don't really get much context in Animal Well. You don't really get to see the outside universe that much. You're not really sure, like, why this Animal Well even exists, or, like, who you are. You're just a blob. There's no real context or story, so maybe that's going to get expanded on whatever Billy Basso does next, but whether that's a direct sequel, I don't really know. But yeah, I don't know. Just like another dose of the same thing. I feel like it wouldn't really quite have the same magic. I guess there's a lot of animals that were not used in the first game. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. That's a maybe. That's a tough one. I mean, if that got announced, I'd love it, so yeah. Oh my god, yes. Bro, the fact that this did not get a sequel is ridiculous. This game got done so freaking dirty, man. Sleeping Dogs rocks. I think it was just marketed poorly. I know it was originally going to be like a remake or sequel to True Crime. I never played I played one of the True Crime games. I freaking hated it. It was horrible. Right now, as far as like sandbox crime games, you got GTA, Saints Row is freaking dead. Just Cause it's not really like that. I don't know, there is a bit of a lack of games like that. You had like The Getaway, you know, you had True Crime, you had more games that were sort of going for the GTA sort of approach of an open world thing. I think time has gone on for people to realize how great this freaking game was. The story in this game freaking bangs, dude. This game had such a great mechanic too, with the whole triad / police officer thing, because you play as like an undercover cop who's like infiltrating like a gang. You're slowly sort of like becoming part of the gang and losing your identity, and the upgrades you get for being a good police officer are totally different to the upgrades you get for being like the literal upgrade system like plays into the dichotomy that the main character is going through. This game used the gameplay medium to convey its story and themes in really novel ways, which rarely ever happens in games like this. And the freaking combat was banging. I really liked the hand-to-hand combat. Yes, it was a reskin of freaking Batman Arkham, but it's a solid framework that I think Sleeping Dogs got great use out of with the environmental kills and stuff. Bro, this game freaking bang. That wedding level, fucking one of the best missions in a freaking crime game I've ever played. Yeah, I that's a glowing yes. What we got, baby? Deathloop. Oh, okay. Wasn't a huge fan of Deathloop. Definitely one of the weaker arcane games. I think maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Do we just leave Deathloop behind, or do we bring it back for a sequel? I don't know if there's that much of an outcry. Bro, Deathloop reviewed shockingly well. Do you know how many 10 out of 10 scores Deathloop got? Absolutely insane how well reviewed this game is. It's not that good. I do not understand how that happened. This game made horrible use of the loop mechanic, bro. I freaking hated how time didn't move in real time. I hated that. How like the levels were sectioned off into like morning, afternoon, evening, and then when you enter during an afternoon, it's just stayed It just stayed as the afternoon no matter how long you were in the level for. It just wouldn't progress. I think this game, there's so many things you gotta change. Like, improve the loot mechanic, make the UI less of a fucking nightmare to navigate. I always felt a little bit too distant from the story, too, like the puzzle of figuring out how to play each loot. Bro, just do it more like Outer Wilds, bro. Just have like a ship log sort of thing, and then like a little case screen where you can sort of piece it together. Bro, I'm serious. Like, every single game needs to just borrow from Outer. Every game in existence would be improved if it was more like... What we got next, though? Fuck yes. It's the best story in all of the From Software games. It's like the shortest one, too. Like the combat in Sekiro, man, it is so perfect. It is some of the most perfect action I have ever played in a game in my freaking life. I would love a Sekiro 2. I'll take a Sekiro 2 over a Bloodborne 2, man. Fucking sue me. What we got? That's very funny, coming off of Sekiro. Yeah, this is a big no for me. Hell fucking no. Bro, I'm sorry. If Elden Ring 2 got announced, I will buy it. But I'm sorry, the biggest issue with Elden Ring, I think a lot of people have many different issues with Elden Ring. Elden Ring is not perfect. But I think a lot of the main issues people bring up when it comes to Elden Ring boils down to one thing. The game is too fucking big, okay? You can't occupy all of that space evenly. That's why you're getting so many repeated boss fights and just so many loose materials and a crafting system that you never use throughout the entire game. Come on, let's be real. 40 hours into Elden Ring, it's not quite as fun as it was during the first 40 hours. Like when you get to the halfway point, you go through the motions a bit, that like splendor, that dreamlike magic of exploring the world starts to get a little, diminished by just the slog of getting through each massive area. And like half of the rewards you get throughout the game don't apply to your build. It's just so much. There's just so much of the game. A whole set. What are you going to do? Elden Ring 2. More bosses, bigger open world map. No, bro. Nah, the game would be way better if it was like 20 hours shorter, in my opinion. It's already like it's one of the best games ever fucking made. Bro, this game is incredible. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if an Elden Ring 2 came out, I would get excited for it. I would buy it. I'd probably play it. I'd probably really enjoy it. But for me, bro, I don't know. The biggest issue with Elden Ring is just the amount there is. I think really invites a lot of errors. Makes the overall experience a little more exhausting than it could be otherwise. So yeah, I'm saying no to this one. I'm saying no. The DLC is already proving... like the DLC is like that's a whole sequel right there, bro. It's huge. I'll take Sekiro 2, I'll take Bloodborne 2, but Elden Ring 2 can fucking do one. I'll take Demon Souls 2 before... No, it's probably gonna happen as well. But bro, we're about to get Assassin's Creed Shadow, which is Ghost of Tsushima at home. This time with fucking trap drums. Yeah, no, I'm still I'm saying no to this. Like I think this brand of open world game has had its time. We don't need any more of it. And I think this game, Ghost of Tsushima, is as good as that kind of open world game can ever be. That kind of open world game being the Ubisoft. That sort of Ubisoft Far Cry Assassin's Creed design template. That brand of open world game has been done to death, whether it's Homefront The Revolution, whether it's Horizon, whether it's Rage 2, whether it's Watch Dogs, Far Cry, or Assassin's Creed. We've got so much of it, and in my opinion, Ghost of Tsushima did it the absolute best. This is the best a game of that style, in my opinion, can ever fucking be. I don't think you can really take it any further than this, because this game was still, despite being very Ubisofty, very immersive. The world sort of becomes its own character in Ghost of Tsushima, the way the wind guides you, the way the colors sort of like highlight certain areas. Like, yeah, man, like, Ghost of Tsushima, it's a fucking class game. Some of the best combat I've ever played in an open world game. But yeah, Sucker Punch, given that they previously have made, like, Infamous, Sly Cooper, they need to get back into their more kind of explosive arcadey bag, like I was saying before. Sony are kind of teetering towards that with Astrobot. So, like, a new Infamous game would come right on time, bro. I think that would be fucking class. Even though Ghost of Tsushima is a great game, I would say just leave it. It's, like, the best of its... Another dose of Ghost of Tsushima, to be honest. That sounds... I'm sure it'd be really good, but it sounds fucking exhausting. And the story was naff. Why continue? That main character was a plank of fucking wood, man. I'm sure it would be good, but yeah, it's a no from me. We'll do 2 more and then we'll end the video. Yes. A million times yes. With the PS5 bruh, with the PS5 controller, you could do so many things with this, man. Tearaway is the only game outside of like the tech demos that makes full use of the controller's little gimmicks and shit. This game is incredible, man. I love Tearaway. Media Molecule, I love that you like to make these games like Little Big Planet and Dreams where the player can create their own game, but you guys are so fucking good at making platformers. Just make a platform, just make another platform. And would be another great Sony exclusive for the reasons I mentioned earlier, more kind of platformy, collecty, gamey. Moonlight, a sequel, fuck yeah. Was a great mechanic that was ruined by horrible combat. But the shopkeeping, dungeon crawling thing, I love that as an idea. Way more room for that to grow. I ended up enjoying the shopkeeping side of it way more than the fighting. The fighting was terrible in this game. Update the graphics, tighten up the speed and the mechanics and the robustness of the fighting. Hell yeah, man. Maybe add in a few little secrets and treasures and Easter eggs and shit. Alright, this is gonna be the last one. After this, we're done. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. The journey that is being conveyed in Celeste, I think, has resonated really well with the people it's targeting, trans people. Like, what are they going to do with the second one? They like, what, like, they detransition? Like, bro, I feel like that's kind of like an empty dead end right there. As far as the game itself, it's literally one of the best 2D platformers of all time. Like, 2D platformers as a genre is like the oldest genre. And Celeste came out in like 19 or something like that, 2018, and said, yeah, we're going to do another 2D platformer. You've already seen like hundreds, right? You've probably seen amazing games that are 2D platformers. Well, we're going to do it better than anyone has ever fucking done it in history. And they literally did that. This game is designed fucking amazingly. It's literally outdone so many of its peers and its predecessors to an insane degree, despite keeping the same appeal of those retro games and modernizing it with a really touching story and a good sense of humor. And this game has changed fucking lives, bro. I think a sequel, I don't know, I think this game really hit its ceiling. I don't see why you need a sequel. Yeah, if they're working on a sequel, Maddie Makes Games, then maybe, fuck me, maybe they have a great idea in mind. But yeah, I'd say you could leave that one. For Honor 2, I thought I said that was going to be the last one. Whatever. For Honor 2, you know, anything to stop Ubisoft from making Assassin's Creed games. So I'll just say yes. All right, last one. Last one, I promise. Fuck yes. Should I do one more? Fuck it. I've got loads of games here to get through. I can see the wheel is getting smaller and smaller. Come on. Let's go out with a bang. No.